and guests. It is now 12:45. Meeting of the Rotary Club of Montego Bay is now called to order. Thank you all for coming on. We will now move into the invocation. O Lord, who knows our needs, help us fulfill our Rotary Creed. We live to serve you every day in all we think or do or say. Accept this prayer for this meal. Protect, forgive, inspire, and heal. Amen.
Amen.
And from there we move
Amen.
to the loyal toast.
Amen.
Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me in a toast to Jamaica, land we love.
Jamaica land we love.
Jamaica only.
And VP Dominica, could you lead us in the four-way test, please?
President Paul, fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me in repeating the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to be concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it
Build
build
goodwill
goodwill
and
and better
friendships?
friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, welcome again to everyone. Another meeting of the Rotary Club of Montego Bay. Good to see such a wonderful turnout. No doubt that is probably because our guest of honor, who is really not much of a guest anymore, Vijay, will be the guest speaker this afternoon. He will definitely bring, or we will definitely introduce him, especially at that appointed time. But I will now recognize our members here on. We have VP Dominica. And just give us a wave there. Then we have our mental health and wellness ambassador. It's Rotarian Antoinette. And we have IPP France. He is driving, seatbelt is on, so at least is being observed there. Don't know about any other road code that will be observed from him.
I am President. I'm actually parked. Just let you know that I'm parked.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yes, I'm
Good
parked
job.
up in front of the greatest school on earth, Wilmers, but that's another story.
That's you're right. That's another story.
But I noticed that you have on green and black.
Well, no, it's the Jamaican colors, Jamaican shirt. Please don't insult me, Ambassador. Don't insult me, Ambassador.
High school rivalry in this place is we have okay. So up next we have the indomitable Secretary Amber, who is landing all the planes that come into Montego Bay today. Glad to have you. See any more of our regular members. So we have the ambassador himself, all the way from Florida via Kingston. Desmond Curry on with us.
Happy to be with you. Happy to be with you. But correction, past President Dominica is really the ambassador.
Okay, all right. I appreciate your realizing the greatness of.
I think it's a partnership.
We can work with that as well. We can definitely work with that as well. We have PP Ajaya from the Rotary Club of Royal. Is that it?
Royal.
Bhubaneswar Royal, yeah.
Welcome. Glad to have you. Rotarian Lamar looking very studious over there. Busy at work?
I actually am President Paul. Thank you very much. Good
I'm
afternoon.
so glad you could find the time to include us in your very busy schedule. Yeah. Looking studious. Rotarian Dan Raj, welcome to you. Not seeing a video, not seeing a club. But I'm glad that you're here with us.
Rotarian Dhanraj, past president Dhanraj Hotwani from Hyderabad, Pakistan.
From Pakistan, all the way from Pakistan. Glad to have you. Always love the international connections that we have on this meeting. It's very inspiring. Not sure who Galaxy A21S is, but thank you for logging on. We have Rotarian Sunil Sali from
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
We have Rotarian Sunil Sali from the Rotary Club of Teen Titans. Rotarian Sunil, glad to have you.
He's my president-elect.
Your president-elect. Oh, excellent, excellent, president-elect. So we can continue the partnerships for the following year. PDG, is this Raman? PDG Raman, are you there?
PDG Ataur Rahman from Bangladesh.
From Bangladesh, all the way from Bangladesh. Then we have Rotarian Suresh Haraji. Harjani.
Suresh Harjani from
Right.
India.
He's from India as well. And then we have Rotarian Andrew. He was on earlier. He is
Andrew Worley from UK.
From the United Kingdom, yeah.
all the way from UK. Glad to have you. Sorry to keep you out of bed so early. I'm sure you appreciate the worth that we bring to the table. PP Shamim, also from Bangladesh. Glad to have you. Then we have Rotarian Lucinda from Uganda, E-Club of Uganda.
Thank you, President. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Rotarian Carlton Samuels from the Rotary Club of Green Island Sunrise. Hopefully he has gotten the number that he was looking for earlier. He has his hand up now. I don't know if he's saying something or just acknowledging us. So we acknowledge you, Rotarian Carlton. Then we have Rotarian, well, it's PhD Anne-Marie Rogers from Trinidad, all the way from 7030. Glad to have you, PhD Anne-Marie. Our very frequent visitor, almost on the level of Vijay, we have Rotarian Najyoti. Then moving on to Rotarian Jane Francis. Is it Munduru?
Yes, Mondoro from Uganda.
Also from Uganda.
Yeah, I've been lost for a while, but always happy to have you guys. Thank you so much.
We're always happy to have you. Glad for you to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Rotarian Carl Francis. Rotarian Carl, you haven't been here for quite some time. Where have you been? Been hiding out?
Carol Phillips.
Philip, sorry. Where's the Sarge?
She's from Atlanta, Georgia.
Very hefty.
Okay, yeah, hi. I am not really hiding out, but your meeting clashes with my club meeting. But we don't have a meeting today.
Okay.
So when the time changes back to where it is now,
we'll work something out. We'll try and coexist.
Alrighty, thank you.
And there are about 4 other club meetings going on right now online. It's amazing. That was amazing. So definitely when we can have this turnout despite all of the other meetings that persons can choose to attend, you know, we really are grateful that persons have decided to come to the Rotary Club of Montego Bay. I'm seeing here AG Prem Kumar.
AG Prem Kumar Rathod from Pakistan.
Also from Pakistan. Greetings, AG. Glad to have you. And our guest, I just, here he is, Mr. Ventan Prendergast. Possibly. Go ahead, Ventan. You were saying something?
No, just saying thanks for having me.
Okay. Thank you for coming. Very, very eager potential Rotarian that we have here, you know.
Thanks for recognizing me. I
Some
couldn't get my
inductions
mic
coming up.
back on.
Oh, Carlton was just saying something.
I was wondering.
I was just saying that I have some difficulty in getting my mic back on, but it's back on now. So thank you.
Okay, glad to have you there, Carlton. Not a problem. No problem at all. Have I left anyone off? I don't think I did. I think I've gone through everything.
PAG Balmati.
Almaty came on. While
Marty came on late. PAG, how are you doing?
Hi. Hello, good evening. I'm happy to join you all for a short while. I have to be on audio, unfortunately, but I'm glad to be on to listen to this presentation this afternoon.
Not a
So
problem.
thank you for inviting me again.
Of course, glad to have you. It's not really about the length of time, it's the quality of the time spent. So even if it's 5-10 minutes, once you have logged in and here with us, we are appreciative 100% of that. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody else? I don't think I did. Oh, so good. Glad to see so many persons. We're looking forward to a wonderful meeting. And we will now move into our wellness mental health minute by Rotarian Antoinette. Soon to be.
Hi, good day again.
Hey.
Okay, our wellness help tip today is practicing gratitude for mental health. How can you practice gratitude? Keep a gratitude journal. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for. And this can help to increase your overall well-being and life satisfaction. Appreciate the intangible. One common form of gratitude is the feeling you get when you receive a gift from someone. But as mentioned earlier, gratitude can have different meanings, and it comes down to recognizing and acknowledging your appreciation for anything that provides value or meaning to you. Honor the present moment. In an ever-moving social media-obsessed society, it can be hard to enjoy the gift of rest and stillness. But gratitude can help. Gratitude helps us slow down our nervous system and gives ourselves permission to feel joy. Perform acts of kindness for others. Picking up litter, volunteering, or paying it forward, which could be as simple as paying for the person behind you in line for coffee. These all account as acts of kindness. So these 4 tips can be used to express gratitude in our lives and help our overall well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Antoinette. Very, very timely and poignant points about how we can improve our mental health, especially the one about giving gifts to someone, which brings me to, I think I'll just segue into President's Time now with that, because the calendar for December was shared in our group, and some persons may see a pixie exchange on it. So, you know, Christmas is the time of giving, and it would be, I think, a very good way to not just show appreciation for or towards another person, but just to bring the club together. We are a family, and we always portray ourselves as a family. And I think giving gifts to our respective family members is a good way of showing that love and appreciation, despite any challenges that we may face, any bits of tension and disagreement, which will come inevitably. It's not a matter of what is done, it's more a matter of how it's done, how we move forward from that. And I think engaging in a picture exchange would be one such way to do that. So we will definitely be looking towards having that later in December. But I thought it was just very coincidental that that is one of the ways we can improve mental health by giving gifts. So definitely our pixie exchange will be discussed further where that's concerned. Thanks again to Rotary and Antoinette for that mental health tip. And just to officially let the members and the guests in attendance know that she will be our secretary-elect, or she is our secretary-elect, so she will be relieving past president, current secretary Amber Gale of her duties come July. Director Narissa is president-elect. She will be relieving me of my duties come July. And it just is a very exciting time. So we issue our sincerest congratulations to them both. We look forward to what they bring to the table, and you can rest assured that we are putting our full support behind them as they continue to lift the standard and the banner of the Rotary Club of Montego Bay a whole lot further. So congrats again to them both. On Thursday last week, we went to Anchovy High School. President-elect Narissa conducted an excellent workshop with the prefects body there. They were very eager, very just, it was like a sponge, you know, they were just soaking up all of the information that was being brought to them. And it was really just about them and how they find their identity, how they navigate the world that we have, you know, which was mentioned earlier, we're in a very social media obsessed world. It's about the ping and the notification and the flash and the bring, and there's so many distractions that what it comes down to is to you finding yourself, finding out what you want out of life, and then implementing the disciplined approach to ensure that those objectives are achieved. It was very, very good. I wish I was one of the students so I could have received all of what was being imparted. But it's a very, very good workshop, and I am grateful that she took that initiative to engage the students in that way. Hopefully, throughout the rest of the year, we'll be looking to in the charter and interact club there. So that is a good setting, a good foundation that we have started there. So just more work to be done in that regard. Looking forward to it. On a more solemn note, we have some funeral services to attend. One of them is for the grandfather of Secretary Ambo, who passed some time ago. His funeral will be on December 4th. That's the date I've been told. The location is yet to be clarified. So as soon as that information is known, we will definitely send it to the membership. Is everybody hearing me clearly?
Somebody just posted in the chat that your voice was a little low.
Right, that's why I'm wondering if I've been here talking away and nobody's hearing at all.
I'm hearing you.
Let me project. So,
yes.
So, right, a bit of sad news there. So on December 4th, we will have the funeral service for the grandfather of Secretary Ambo. As soon as that information is known in terms of location, we will definitely make every effort to attend. On the 26th of November, which is Sunday, the funeral service for the father of our Secretary-elect, Antoinette, that will be at the Montego Bay Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is on Union Street, and that starts at 11 a.m. So as long as we are available, kindly attend to show our support in our family members' time of grief and need of strength. You know, we never know when our time will be, and every time, as far as I'm concerned, is just very unfortunate and untimely. We should could hold on to them for as long as possible, but the Creator has other plans, and we just have to work with it. Life goes on in that regard. Also, our past president, Conrad, is not very well at the moment. He had some medical conditions, an unfortunate medical situation over the weekend, as I understand. He is back home, so he is recovering, and we pray for his speedy and comprehensive recovery. But for those who can, we just need to reach out and just send your best wishes, your words of encouragement, your concern. It really does a lot to let persons know that they are not forgotten, that they're still valued, that they're remembered. And in any way we can make them feel the love, it always goes a very, very far way in terms of their mental health and their overall recovery. So please let us reach out to our PP Conrad as best as we can. I see a bit more persons coming on. Vijay has been welcoming them.
Yes, you have Rotary and Stephanie.
Stephanie, hi, how are you, Stephanie? Welcome.
And you have Rangari from Nairobi.
Milimani, Rotary Club of Milimani, Kenya.
Thank you.
We have PAG Sangram Joshi from my district. And the PAG Darshanlal Nankani again from Pakistan.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you all for coming out.
Balchandra district from my neighboring district.
Okay. All right. Well, I suspect that quite a number of them came to hear from you, PP Vijay. So I will hand over to VP Dominica to officially welcome you and for your presentation to begin. PP Dominica, go ahead.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our good friend who really needs no introduction, but some background. Rotarian Vijay Narayan Kewalramani. He was born on the 12th of July, 1969. He is a chartered accountant, practicing in the past 30 years in the fields of direct taxes, appellate, and fraud investigations. He has numerous qualifications, some of them are abbreviations, which I'm not quite sure. MBA is one of them, and CMA, and a diploma from the UK. So he trained the government supreme auditors of Afghanistan on fraud detection and risk management. He has written a book called Limited Liability Partnerships, published by All India Federation of Tax Practitioners. He's a prolific speaker. He has addressed various professional forums across India and overseas. His professional and non-professional talks, including Rotary talks, are available on his YouTube channel. His hobbies are traveling, networking, socializing, and reading. He was introduced to Rotary at the tender age of 11 when his father and mentor, the late Sri Narayan Kewalramani, joined as a charter member of Rotary Club Thane East in 1980 to 81. He was charter president of the Rotaract Club of Bombay Mulund East in 1990 to 91, where he won the Best New Club Award in that year. He joined Rotary in January 2015 and won the Best Rotarian Award in the first 2 years of joining. He has been secretary of the Rotary Club of Thane Harbour and the president in 28 to 19. Currently, he's the secretary of the Rotary Club of Thane Titans in District 3142, and he has held various district chair positions over the years since 2016. This year, he has the following positions. He's district treasurer, district international service chair, and district friendship exchange chair, and also district intercountry committee chair. He has completed the RLI graduation in 2016. He has traveled and attended clubs in person from Jammu in the north to Kanyakumari in the south, and from Vadodara in the west to Kolkata in the east. He has attended over 3,000 Zoom meetings internationally and has friends in over 20 countries across the Rotary world. He is a member of 14 Rotary fellowship groups and 3 Rotary action groups. And he's a director of Rotarians on the Internet Fellowship. He's an honorary member in 7 clubs in 7 districts and has spoken at various Rotary forums and clubs locally and internationally. He is the new club advisor to a club, the Rotary Club of Bhubaneswar Flamingo in Rotary District 3262 in Odisha. He was pinned as an honorary member at the hands of past RI President Kalyan Banerjee in Rotary District 3262. He's a multiple Paul Harris Fellow and a Paul Society member. And briefly, his son is a Rotaractor and a charter president of a newly formed Rotaract club. His wife and son are both Paul Harris Fellows, and his late father was also a Paul Harris Fellow. And he's a member of several professional associations, including the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners and a member of the steering committee of the Institute of Certified Management Accountants of Australia and New Zealand, the India chapter. And there are more associations to which he belongs, but I'm going to stop there because I think we need to hear what he has to tell us about the Rotary International, about Rotary Foundation. So please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, who is an official friend of the Rotary Club of Montego Bay. How could I forget that part? Vijay Kewalramani.
Thank you, Dominica, for such a detailed introduction. And before I start, President Paul and Dominica, thanks for giving me the opportunity to present my views. It has always been an opportunity to be amongst you for the past few years. I typically attend every meeting. This year I may have missed 3-4 of the meetings, I don't know. And I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our IPDG Kailash Jetani from my district, my very good friend PDG Yuan Kumoji from district 9104, who has just come for me for 15 minutes because she has a talk in her district in another half an hour's time. So she will be leaving. Thanks, Yuan, for joining in. And all my friends across the globe, PDGs from Bangladesh, PAGs from Pakistan, India, and my president-elect, IPP France. So all my friends from across the globe, thank you. Friends, today we are here to speak about Rotary Foundation and try and understand what is Rotary Foundation. I think being Rotarians, we all know what is Rotary Foundation. But before I start, I would like everybody to see this small video so that it gives us an idea, and then I will share my presentation. Is it visible?
In a world full of challenges, you make solutions possible. Because of you, last year, we funded over 1,090 global grants, 470 district grants, and 310 disaster response grants. Together, we are providing clean water and growing local economies, supporting education, and promoting peace. supporting mothers and their children, providing aid to the communities affected by disasters, and preventing diseases like polio. Last year, donors like you contributed more than $427 million to the Rotary Foundation. Because of you, together, we can do even more good. Thank you for your dedication to strengthening communities around the world. The Rotary Foundation.
Friends, as we could see from the presentation, $427 million were collected by Rotary Foundation in the last year. Why do we think people are giving so much of amount? Is my presentation visible?
Yes.
So why do we think people give so much to the Rotary Foundation? There are so many NGOs across the globe which are doing social service. There are UN global recognized bodies like UNESCO, World Health Organizations, and so on and so forth. But why have people have the faith in the Rotary Foundation? And why does a website like Charity Navigator, which rates NGOs across the globe, give an NGO like the Rotary Foundation the topmost 4-star rating for the 15th continuous year that we got recently, a couple of months back? So we have to understand why the Rotary Foundation, why do people give to the Rotary Foundation? Because the main point is, through any other association, if you give, the administrative costs range from 25 to 40%. Whereas the Rotary Foundation administrative cost technically is something around 3.67%. You may say the upper end will be 5%. So people know that if we give to the Rotary Foundation, our money, most of our money
Vijay frozen?
I think he's frozen.
Yes, it seems so.
Wondering if I was.
Oh, he's vanished. Let's hope he can. Oh,
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My connection just went off. Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, man. Audible.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Sorry.
visible.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It just went off. I don't know. There was a connection problem. So I will come to this Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in a moment. Let us understand the history and the motto why of Rotary Foundation. The motto of Rotary Foundation is doing good in the world. The single point thing is doing good to the world. Simple as that. We have nothing else in mind. We do good to the world. And as we all know, being Rotarians, we dedicate our, not only the money, we dedicate our time, we put in our efforts to work for the foundation and to work for Rotary and the service activities that we are doing. That is the only reason our administrative costs are as low as 3.68%, told you. Then we should also understand the mission statement. The mission statement of the foundation is to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill and peace. So the main mission is to advance world understanding, goodwill and peace. How will you advance that? Through the improvement of health, through the support of education and the elevation of poverty. So it is very clear and thoughtful that if you do not have good health, if you do not support education and literacy, or if you do not try and elevate property, bring people out from the property, there will not be world understanding, goodwill and peace. So to have world understanding, goodwill and peace, it is very important to improve the health, to support education and ensure that more and more literate people are there across the globe, and definitely to take out people from the poverty. This thing. Let's just go and understand the history. It started in 1917 by our 6th president, R. Clump, donating $26.5. He started it by a small contribution, and that is why, just because it was started by him, we have a recognition in his name, that is the R. Clump Foundation, R. Clump member, that is given at, once you donate $250,000 and upwards, that recognitions will be coming to now. The foundation formally got the name the Rotary Foundation at the Minnesota USA Convention in the 1928. So for 11 years, it was working as an endowment fund, and then it formally got its name in 1928. What are the sources of support? Because to run an organization, we need support. So initially, let us understand the sources of support. And the Polio Plus Fund dedicated to global polio eradication. Friends, this started with a club in Manila way back in 1986, 85, 86, thinking of eradicating polio. So they started in their locality, which was taken up by their district and ultimately by Rotary International. And then along with the United Nations and the World Health Organization, they formed the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, where till now Rotary, our 9 billion have been spent, and Rotary itself has spent over $2 billion for Polio Plus Fund. The other primary source and the main source of funding is the annual fund, which funds our grants and the activities that we do. The district grants that we are getting, the global grants that we are getting, they all come through the annual fund, because Polio Plus Fund goes for the polio part. Annual fund is the main source through which we donate and we get our local grants and this thing. The third and most important is the endowment fund, which supports the foundation in perpetuity. Endowment fund, we will be looking into it all in detail. Endowment fund is basically, as we said, Ask Club started it with an endowment fund of $26.5. Endowment fund is an amount which is received, and then that amount is invested in perpetuity, and only the returns out of it are spent for the purpose of Rotary Foundation. Yeah. Nagjyoti, can you mute, please? Yes, thank you. So let's start with the Polio Plus Fund. It was launched in 1985, as I had told you earlier. Primary supportive of the global efforts to end polio, and with the efforts of the Polio Plus Fund only, we could see that polio has been eradicated from practically all of the world. That's, you can say safely, 99.5% of the world is eradicated of polio, except for two countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. India was declared polio free 13 years back. Nigeria was declared 3 years back. These are the latest countries that have come out of polio. It was instrumental in the Global Polio Eradication Initiative by the World Health Assembly in 1988. Then it was joined by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which supported a campaign by issuing a $100 million challenge in 2007, stating that we would contribute this amount if the Rotarians contribute an equal amount within a specified period. And to their shock, the Rotarians contributed that amount in much lower period, and they were satisfied. And what happens now is that every dollar that you donate to the Polio Plus Fund is matched by $2 by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is again matched by $3 from the World Fund, from the Rotary International. So every dollar that you donate for the Polio Plus Fund becomes $6, and it goes for the Polio Eradication Initiative. Now we come to why Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation started supporting Rotary. It's not only that 100 million challenge. Somebody asked Bill Gates, you have your own foundation, you have your own staff, you have your own setup. Why don't you directly invest, and why don't you directly contribute and spend for the Polio Plus? He said, if I start spending, I have an administrative cost of 25%. So out of every $100 that I give, only $75 would go to the actual beneficiaries. But if I give it to Rotary, then I know that at least 96 to 97% is going to the beneficiary. That is why we give through the Rotary Foundation. And friends, this is the reason more and more people believe in the Rotary Foundation. We would be seeing the figures that have come for 22-23 in some time. As you can see, individual contributors to the Polio Plus Fund have been 152,853. Out of that, Rotarian contributors are 144,000. Percentage-wise, if you see, in 2018-19, only 9.2% of the Rotarians were contributing to the Polio Plus Fund, whereas 12.4% are now contributing to the Polio Plus Fund. And total giving per Rotarian has also increased from $29.96 to $32.64. As far as the club contribution is concerned, we can see that out as against 35,000 clubs in 18-19, 22-23, we have 36,000 clubs. Out of them, 18,000 clubs were participating in 18-19, whereas 21,000 clubs are now participating in the Polio Plus Fund. So the percentage has increased from 51.5 to 58.5, and 30 districts are 100% participating districts. 100% participating districts are those where each and every club in that district is participating in the Polio Plus Fund. So 30 districts out of the total 527 odd districts across the globe, we have clubs where they are participating 100%. Now we come to the annual fund. It is the primary funding source for our foundation grants and activities. The district grants, the global grants that we do, they are coming through the annual fund. It supports the local and international grants through the share system. What is the share system is? If we invest amount now, every district that gives now 50% of the amount comes back in the third year. Initially, it used to be 50%. Now, Rotary has an administrative cost deduction of 5%. So, 47.5% comes in the third year, and to the district for the district grants and all that for the sharing, and 47.5% is given to the World Fund, which is then used for our global grants and other initiatives like district disaster fund and other initiatives that is spent over there. I will not go much into the details of the share system because it is a special topic in itself which needs a full-fledged talk. If you give to the annual fund, the contributions are credited to individual donors or the organizations and the donors club and are applied for the club and district's annual goals. So if your club has given a goal that we would be contributing this much amount to the Rotary Foundation, and every contribution by every member or a guest of your member, a friend of your member will also be contribute to the club goals and district and annual goals that you are giving. Let us understand the giving part. The givings have increased. Rotarian giving, you can see from 387,000 Rotarians to 401,000 Rotarians have been giving. A percentage increase from 32.4 to 34.4. Even the total giving per Rotarian to the annual fund has increased from $105.95 to $114.68. Similarly, if we see the club contributions, 81.3% of the clubs are contributing towards the annual fund, and 99 districts are 100% participating. These are the districts where each and every club has been giving to the annual fund. Yes, this is a decrease from 108 in 2021. It was because in 108, when there was COVID and all, there was a lot of demand and people did contribute. Again, last year we had a decline of 7 to 74 districts, but now we can see again it has increased to 99 districts. Now we come to the endowment fund. Endowment fund, the contributions are invested in perpetuity. They are invested in yield deposits, yield stocks, yield monies, which earn returns, and the earnings out of that are spent for the purpose of the foundation. That is, if your club gives an endowment fund, now endowment fund, how it can be given? It can be given by an individual for $25,000. It can be contributed by a club like Rotary Club of Montego Bay. They say that we would create a Rotary Club of Montego Bay endowment fund, or you create an endowment fund in the name of any senior Rotarian who has worked for you and you want to respect him. So you create it. Every member can just contribute $1,000 to that and become part of the endowment fund. He automatically becomes a benefactor member. I'll be coming to the recognitions later on. This is how endowment funds are created. That money will be invested by a Rotary Foundation. And every year, whatever the returns are coming, they will be sent back to the club for spending. So the returns are not spent by Rotary International until you tell them to spend. The returns come to you, come to the club or come to the individual or the club, and then based on the person who has kept the endowment fund, the earnings are spent. Endowment funds can be coming from corporates also, you can also encourage the corporates to give for endowment funds. It offers donors a way to create their own lasting legacy through Rotary. You can give it, and now you can give it in your will, you can give it in your estate legacy. We'll see all the recognition and all the ways you can give to endowment fund. What are the mode of contributions? Outright gifts of cash investment or other properties. So you can directly give a cash investment of $25,000 or other properties, and you can also give a commitment of 3 years. So if you as an individual are giving endowment of $25,000, you need not give in 1 year, you can give it over a period of 3 years. So this facility is also given by Rotary International, that you give it over a period of 3 years. This is one of the best benefits that you have got, and an endowment fund can be created. Life income gifts, example, charitable gift annuities, pooled income funds. You can give life income gifts that annually it will come. Testamentary gifts through your wills or estate plans. The only thing is, once you mention it in your estate plan or a will, you have to send a copy to Rotary Foundation, which they will recognize and take note of it, and they will recognize your contribution. You can make Rotary Foundation a beneficiary of your retirement plan accounts or other financial accounts or a life insurance account, that they can get it. And that way, an endowment fund will be created as and when Rotary Foundation gets that amount. Now, what are the individual contributions? 18-19, only 0.5% of the Rotarians were contributing for endowment funds, but now we can see 1.4% in 22-23. And the average amount of yearly giving, although it has reduced from 4,242 to 2,167, the total giving per Rotarian has increased from $22.86 to $35.836. As far as the clubs are concerned, 8.8% of the clubs have been participating in the endowment givings vis-a-vis as against the 7.5%. As I said, we normally think that how can we give $25,000 at one stroke? You can give as a club, get contributions from individual members of $1,000 and start an endowment fund on your own. So we have to publicize it and go ahead. What are the Rotary targets for the endowment fund for 2025? The total target is 2.025 billion. That is net assets of 1 billion and commitments of 1.025 billion. As against that, the actual figures for 22-23. The net assets are 678.6 million and the commitments are 947 million. So we are nearing target of the commitments. We hopefully will have the target of the net assets. That is, once we receive the money, then only we can invest and we can have the net assets. Let us understand the overall giving summary, what the Rotary Foundation is getting. This is as per their 22-23 unaudited report that was recently circulated. Annual fund as against a goal of 135 million, 147.6 million were collected. Till date, $3.3 billion have been collected in annual fund. Endowment fund as against 40, the collections have been a bit lower. Polio Plus against the collections have improved, and the overall total of 2.2 billion have been collected into Polio Plus. As I said, Rotary has contributed over $2 billion earlier only. Other collections, that is maybe through CSR funds, maybe through directed gifts. There are other contributions as against 45 million. We have collected only 37.2 million. And total new expectants to the endowment fund, out of 60 million, we had only 49.3 million. That way, our collection was 427 million, which we could see in the video also. That is the total collection that the Rotary Foundation has got during the year 22-23. This is the graphical representation of how the collections have increased over a period from 13-14, 250 million to today we got 427 million. What are the top giving countries? United States definitely is at the top, but India is the second largest giving country by giving $31 million. whereas Korea has given $23 million. And we can see countries from Africa like Nigeria, they have also contributed $2.2 million and it is at 14th place. So we cannot say that smaller countries are not contributing. They are contributing very well. You can see the contribution for Canada are less, from Japan are less, but a country like India has been contributing around $31 million. And what are the contributions by source? Individuals have been contributing around 74.9% to the Rotary Foundation. Business contributions, that is from business or charity or government organization, we have 8.3%, and Rotary organization 16.8%. This is, you can see, by source. And then individual breakup of that 74.9% is active Rotarians have contributed around 86%. Former Rotarians have contributed around 9.4%, and non-Rotary members have contributed around 4.6%. We can increase this 4.6% of non-Rotary members because we can tap our friends, we can tap our relatives, explain to them what is Rotary Foundation, and we can get donation for that. This is the breakup of that 8.3% organization that they are giving. 56% is given by the Rotary or Rotary clubs, and charity we get through 16.8%, 16.5% from government, 8.3% from the district, and 2% from club or district foundations. And these are the individual participations across all the funds. Earlier I had given you all the individual breakups. So we can see that as against 35.3%, 39.1% of the Rotarians are contributing in one way or the other, maybe to annual fund, maybe to endowment, maybe to other funds, or maybe to the annual fund. Total giving per Rotarian has also increased from 192.3 to 217.39, which is a good achievement. Again, club participations we can see is from 85.2 percentage-wise. If you see, the club participation has not changed much. But 100% participating districts have gone up to 142. Again, there's not much of a change because over a period we can see it is just rotating. Now this is where how the amounts have been invested. That is the investment that we have returned. Endowment fund, market value of the investments is 642 million, and it has been returning at a rate of 8.1%. This is, as I told you, this 8.1% of this amount is always spent. The 642 million keeps on growing as it is kept invested. Annual fund and operating fund, income and capital preservation, 519 million have been kept. Donor advice fund, 37 million. Polio plus 43 million capital preservation. And this is how we have the whole breakup. Now we come to the end uses where all this money is being used. We have seen the sources how the money is collected. The first and foremost primary is Polio Plus program. As we discussed that it started in 85-86. Today we are polio free practically in 99.5% of the world, excepting in two countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Although there were some scares coming from Madagascar and US, but they have not been confirmed of a revival. And the last to be declared polio-free was Nigeria. That was 3 years back. The second area where the amount is spent is the Rotary 7 areas of focus, maternal and child care, peace building. We'll see this breakup. And lastly, it is spent to Rotary Peace Fellowships. Polio Plus grants are still being given through these organizations to various countries. You can see to the African region, Afghanistan, Pakistan, over a period through these organizations for technical assistance, for vaccination, operational support and all that. So around 155 million has been spent in the last year to these organizations for Polio Plus support. And these are the partner grants that have been given, 1.52 million, especially you can see to the African nations, Pakistan and Afghanistan. If we see by areas of focus, then 9% has been spent out of the foundation for basic education and literacy. 44% has been spent on disease prevention. You can see the amount that is going on. And maternal and child health, 9%. water and sanitation 15%, 6% on peace building, community building is 12%. So this is the breakup of how the amounts is spent on the areas of focus. Now we come to the third part, peace fellowships. Rotary, as we know, have been granting peace fellowships across, and Rotary was one of the 42 organizations involved during the formation of the UN, and Rotary still has a permanent place in the United Nations, as we are aware. And Rotary has been contributing to world peace. It has been striving for world peace since the Second World War. After the Second World War, they started the initiative of inter-country committees to bring in enemy countries together. Like the first inter-country committee was formed between France and Germany. They were enemy countries at those times. Now they are good friends and they are ally countries nowadays. Master's program and the certificate programs which are given. The master's program is given to 50 people every year. It is a 3 years program, and the certificate program is given to 80 people every year. It is a 1 year diploma program. These are the institutes that are offering the master's and the certificate program. And fellowships awarded in 22-23, the breakup we can see. 42 number of home countries among the fellows. Average age of the fellows in the masters is 31, and average age of fellows in the certificate program in 36. So it's not that we are only taking senior citizens, but young people are coming and trying to understand. And once they are trained, they are sent to areas where peace is required. Now again, I had shown you a graph. We can see the amount that is spent by areas of focus. Basic education and literacy, 101 grants have been given. Community economic development, 129 grants have been given. The maximum is to disease prevention, as we saw earlier, 31 million. And water and sanitation, 12.42 million. Water and sanitation is important because water is going to be the next fighting point in the world, and it may cause disturbance in the world, peace disturbances. So it is important to take care of water and sanitation also. Peace building, around 2.9 million have been spent. By activity type, if you look at it, humanitarian grants have been the maximum, around $60 million. Humanitarian and vocational training, $7 million. Scholarships, $7 million. Vocational training teams, $1.17 million. Again, the top 10 countries recipients by number of grants based on the project locations. India tops it with around $14 million and 219 grants. Then we have countries like Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, United States. Now one would wonder why United States and all, because this grants is not only used in the country of receipt. Nowadays, joint projects are being held by different countries at various underdeveloped countries where it is required, like Africa and all that. So most of the grants are used at those locations also. Now we look at the individual recognitions to encourage people to give. Rotary has been given individual recognitions. First is the Rotary Foundation Sustaining Member. If every member of your club gives around $100 each, that is the per capita should be $100, and every member gives around $25 each. How do you calculate the per capita? Supposing Montego Bay has a membership base of 30 and your total giving during the year is more than 3,000, then you have a per capita of 100 members per member, because 3,000 divided by 30 comes to 100, depending on the actual giving. And every member should have contributed a minimum of $25. Once you contribute that, you get a banner of Rotary Foundation Sustaining Member. Then there's a Paul Harris Fellow, multiple Paul Harris Fellow. Every member who contributes $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation becomes a Paul Harris Fellow. And for every subsequent year, if you give $1,000, you keep on increasing your levels to Paul Harris Fellow plus 8. Thereafter, you become a major donor. But here, there is one more encouragement, that you need not give the full amount in cash. There are Rotary Foundation points being given to persons who have contributed. So what you can do is, if in your club say there are 30 members or 40 members and 20 members are Paul Harris fellows, then you want to encourage the other 20, or especially the newer members who have come in to become Paul Harris fellows. What you can tell them, you contribute $500, we will give you foundation points of $500 of other members who are already having it, and that way they become Paul Harris fellows and your club can become a Paul Harris fellow club. This is how you can increase the Paul Harris fellow and encourage the habit of giving to those members. Another way of giving is, you may not be having at one stroke. What you can do is you can contribute $100 every month, and then that way, and it is the total contribution given during that year is calculated for Paul Harris fellow. It is not a one-time contribution. So if you contribute in parts, say, as and when you can contribute, just keep on depositing $50, $100, $150, and that way you can accumulate $1,000 and you can get the recognition. Similarly, Paul Harris Society is a recognition if you commit for contributing $1,000 every year. And here you have to contribute $1,000 every year. You cannot have the liberty of giving through the foundation points. Here you have to contribute $1,000 every year. For 10 years, if you contribute, you become a Paul Harris Society member. Till that time, you continue as a Paul Harris Society sustaining member. Then the other recognition is benefactor. Every person who contributes towards the endowment fund becomes a benefactor member. So I said it is easy to become a benefactor member. You can just contribute $1,000 towards a group endowment and you become a benefactor member. You get a separate pin for a benefactor member. A bequest society member is that you create a bequest from your funds that after my death, a bequest of 10,000. This, for a bequest society member, you need a minimum of $10,000. If you give a bequest and just send it to the Rotary Foundation that you have done a bequest for the Rotary Foundation for $10,000, you become a bequest society member. Legacy society you become if you have a bequest of more than $1 million. If you give a bequest of more than $1 million, you become a legacy society member. Major donor, you become a major donor once you contribute $10,000 cumulatively jointly with your spouse. So you need not be individual contributor, but you and your spouse, if they are jointly contributing, so you become a major donor. But this can be done over a period of time. It need not be done in 1 year. You can slowly, gradually start giving, and over a period as it accumulates, once your actual giving crosses $10,000, including the givings given by your spouse, if you have already asked Rotary to combine both the accounts, and then it will be jointly considered for major donor. Similarly, husband and wife jointly contribution more than $250,000 become Arc Club Society members. One recognition, I think, I don't know how it is missed out, is the every year, every Rotarian club banner. No, that's for the club, sorry. So this is the cumulative status. Arc Club Society members, there were 142 members in 22-23 major donors, and you can see the cumulative figures up to now, how many they are there. Major donors, 3,550 means those who have attained the major donorship need not have given the full $10,000, or even Arc Club Society members, they need not have given the full $250,000 in that year. But over a period of time, if they have attained that, then you can see that 152 members were converted to Arc Club Society. Now we club to the club recognitions. 100% foundation giving club. This is where, sorry, in the sustaining member, I told you, if a sustaining member would be, this is a correction. If every member contributes to minimum $100 to the foundation, he would be given a sustaining member. This was the confusion. 100% foundation giving club is where every of your member contributes $25 and the club gives per capita $100. You get a banner. Similarly, every Rotarian every year banner also you will get if your club gives $100 per capita and $25 is contributed by every Rotarian. But here it has to go only to the annual fund. Then 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club. If all your members are Paul Harris Fellows, then your club gets a banner of 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club. If all your members become Paul Harris Society sustaining members, your club gets a banner. even if your club gives a promise of endowment, 100% members, they become a 100% promise club. And in every district, the top 3 per capita in annual fund giving clubs are given recognitions, the top 3 clubs. So supposing in your district 7020, they check, it may not depend on the amount actually given, it is the per capita. So if a club with a smaller number of members give a higher amount, they are likely to get a higher per capita amount recognition. Then if the club contributes over $1,500 to end polio now, they get a certificate of appreciation. And lastly, because Rotaract has been made a full member of Rotary since 2019, Rotary International, and now they have started charging fees also. Rotaract giving certificate. So if a Rotaract club, either individually through the jointly through the club, or if the members start giving and cumulatively give $100 in a year, that club will get a Rotaract giving certificate. So we can also encourage our Rotaract clubs to get these certificates by contributing $100, and this way we can put this habit of giving in the Rotaractors also. Friends, these are my sources. I'm open for questions. I would like to once again thank you all for giving me the opportunity to present my views. Thank you very much.
Much appreciated, PP Vijay. So any question, Dominica? I see your hand is raised. Go ahead.
Yes. Thanks, Vijay, very much for your very clear presentation. One thing I wasn't very sure about, how much is the minimum amount necessary to start an endowment fund? So as you said, do it in the name of somebody.
Yeah, you can donate as a group endowment for $25,000, and jointly it can be done by contributing 1,000 members, minimum of $1,000 each.
Okay, thank you. So 25,000 is the minimum.
Yes.
Yes, Desmond. That question, I see your hand is up.
Yes. Thank you, President Paul. Past President Vijay, excellent presentation. Quick question though. For I think a sustaining member, you need to contribute a small amount every year. Is that every Rotary year or every calendar year?
Every Rotary year, $100.
Every year, but for me to get, say, suppose I do $100 every month, to get my Paul Harris Fellowship, it has to be again Rotary year or calendar year?
Rotary year.
Rotary
we
year.
Speak everything by Rotary year, July to year.
Okay, Rotary year. Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other question? Oh, all right. PB Vijay, thank you so much for imparting such a very comprehensive presentation. You know, there's a saying that you cannot master what you don't measure. And we saw the presentation of the figures, and you know, numbers don't lie. So based on what you've told us here, it is just a call for us to continue the good work of Rotary and the Rotary Foundation, to continue to contribute to the Rotary Foundation and ensure that we will move from eradicating polio fully to creating ease of access and sustainable ways of getting water distributed to those in need, and then possibly onto another area of focus that we will altogether enhance the world that we live in, you know, because we only have one of it and we have to take care of it or else we're going to lose it. So you have definitely given us a lot to think about, and through our contribution, we will definitely continue the good work of Rotary around the world. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Thank you. It was my pleasure presenting before one of my own clubs.
Good stuff. Excellent. I see where PV Rotarian Desmond has to leave. I hope I will see him in person soon. We have a meeting next week, right? Good. All right. So time is far spent. I am requesting someone to move a motion for an extension of 10 minutes.
I move.
All right, so moved by Dominica. Anybody to second?
PP Nana is there.
PP Nana, you look like you will second the motion to extend for 10 minutes.
I second.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so I'm not seeing the Sarge. Especially a day like today would be good to collect some money so we could contribute everything to the Rotary Foundation. But I guess we'll forego that for now. And I will ask you to join me as we toast to a club. Let's go with the Rotary Club of Green Island Sunrise.
Rotary Club of Green Island Sunrise.
VP Dominica, kindly move a toast to Rotary International, please.
President Paul, fellow Rotarians, please join me in a toast to Rotary International.
Rotary the world over.
Rotary world over.
Rotary the world over.
Rotary world over.
Right. Seems like I might not need the 10 minutes after all. Please join me in the national anthem of Jamaica.
Our national anthem represents the beauty, pride, strength, and resilience of Jamaica and our... My name is Agent Sasko. Please stand as we honor Jamaica, our culture, and our history.